Hello guys, welcome back to Chemical Study Zone. I am DVK Bhagavan. In this today's lecture, I'll discuss about the buoyancy force and the condition for an object to float in a fluid. Now, now let's start by using buoyancy force. What does a buoyancy force states? It states that the force applied by the fluid on the submerged object in the opposite direction of the gravity in allowing the object to flow is known as the buoyancy force. That means the, consider an object which is submerged. We submerge in a liquid, and the outermost pressure be atmospheric pressure, and the temperature at this point be P1, and the temperature below this submerged object be P2. Now, if the gravity acts in the downwards direction, then the buoyancy force, according to its definition, will act in the upward direction. That means here this object is experiencing two forces, which is the force applied by this pressure at this point P1, and the force applied by this pressure at point this P2. That means as we know that P2 is greater than P1 due to its side difference. That means the net force of the submerged object will act in the upward direction, the F net vertically. So the buoyancy force acts in upward direction according to this condition. That means, as we discussed in our previous class, that the pressure at that point H equals to the initial pressure plus rho g into H. Okay. Now what is the pressure at this point H1? Is P of H1 equals to P atmospheric plus rho g H1, and the pressure at this point H2 is the P of Ht equals to P atmospheric plus rho g H2. Now it's impossible for us to calculate the entire direct force to this object because it's an object of arbitrary volume. As for arbitrary volume, we does not have any formula to just calculate this volume or the force or the net force acting on it. So let us consider a small tiny place, which can be of cylindrical, which cannot be in any volume that we know, for which we can find the net force and the volume of it very easily by using mensuration. So I am considering a cylindrical volume over here. I just find the force acting on this volume and just integrate to it to all the sides. So dF net vertically equals to P of H2 minus P of H1. That means P atmospheric plus rho g H2 into the area of the cylindrical part, minus P atmosphere plus rho g H1 into dA. As P atmosphere cancels over here, we will have to only rho g into H2 minus H1 into dA. Let this difference be, let the H2 minus H1 be some constant H. Then rho g into H into dA equals to, as we know that this H into dA is known as the differential volume of the object we considered. That means dF net equals to rho g into dV. As I am considering for only this small cylindrical particle which is in the object, I'll just integrate this volume to all over this part. Then we'll get F net equals to integral volume of dF net equals integral volume of rho g into dV. As for a given object, its density and the gravity is are constant, so we can bring them out. So we can write as rho g into integral volume of dV. It's nothing but the F net equals to rho into V into G, where this V is known as the volume of liquid displaced by the solid object. Okay, and rho is the density of the liquid we are considering. So this F net is the buoyancy force. what is Archimedes principle? The volume of solid submerged in a liquid is equals to the volume of the rise in the liquid. Now, what is the condition now for floating object? Generally, we can see that some objects, when we suppose consider a wooden block, when we keep the wooden block in the water, we can experience that wooden block floats on the water. How the condition is here, as for the as for this condition, as what is the condition for a floating object is the net force acting on the body equals to 0. That means gravity acts in this direction, and the buoyancy force will act in this direction. So for the condition for floating, this gravity should have to equal to the buoyancy force. That means the gravity mg equals to rho vg. Here m is the mass of the solid, and rho is the density of the liquid, and v is the displaced volume. This is the condition for an object to float in a liquid. Suppose if we consider an iceberg, as we go near to the poles, we can see some ice blocks floating on the river. So we can find how much percent of the ice block we submerged in the water, and how much of the ice block is floating in the water. Okay, as you know that the density of ice is 0.92 gram per centimeter cube, and density of water is 1 gram per centimeter cube. Now as iceberg is floating on water, we can write it as the mg equals to volume of submerged iceberg into density of water into gravity. Now we can resolve this mass as density into volume. That means rho of ice into the total volume of the iceberg into gravity equals to v of submerged iceberg into rho of water into gravity. Now we can write it as v of submerged iceberg by total volume of iceberg equals to density of ice by density of water. As density of ice is 0.92 by 0.92 gram per centimeter cube by 1 centimeter cube, you will get the value as 0.92. That means in a floating iceberg, we can see that the 92% of the solid mass is submerged under water. What this actually means? That means we can see only the 8% mass of iceberg on the surface of the river. The remaining, it's 92% of the mass will be underwater itself. Now generally, when does an object float? What is the condition for an object to float in a fluid? Suppose consider an object which is floating in a liquid of density rho f, and density of the object be rho s. Okay. Now let us consider the total height of this object be L, and the dispersed height is h. Now according to floating condition is m into g equals to rho f into v submerged into g, as mass equals to density into volume, and volume is area into length. Now I can write this as for the complete object, area be A. So area into total height of the object is L into rho solid, density of the solid into gravity equals to density of fluid into area into height of the submerged object, which is h, into gravity. Now we can get it as L into rho of solid equals to h into rho of fluid. It is the important condition to find anything, to find length, densities. Now as we know that this height of submerged object is less than the total height of the object. That means if we substitute this condition over here, we'll get density of solid is less than the density of fluid, which is the necessary condition for an object to float. That means for a condition for an object to float in the water is its density should less than the density of the fluid in which it is being dropped. If you like this video, please like, share and subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon.